All right, a very good morning to you. It's now time to have CFM's news review. Sitting in for none other than Jackie Monyoncho, who is away at this particular moment. Definitely, it's a good morning, and I have Lion right here with us.
Good morning.
Mwaramutse.
All right. Wow. I'm sure we can handle.
We can handle this. Jackie, whatever you are, just stay there.
You know, I never really wanted to mention, but I don't really like her that much. I'm glad she's not here today. If she comes up, I will deny it.
You will deny it. And you'll say no proof. No proof at all.
Absolutely.
So, how's your morning?
Me?
It wasn't you. Mm-hmm. How's your morning?
My morning is good, man. There's a little drizzle, but I woke up very early, listening to CFM Breakfast. I was enjoying myself, loving the music, loving the topics. So it was very interesting, very interesting indeed.
Because it's a very interesting thing today, looking at the growing traffic today. Actually, even when it rains, it's crazier. So what do you think, first of all, about that issue?
I think the problem with traffic jams in Rwanda is that at some particular times that when I read it one way, we've tried to introduce the 24-hour work schedule, but it didn't quite catch on. I think the only people who are working 24 hours is Nakumat, I think, and a few pharmacies and maybe hospitals. The problem being then that everybody seems to be going to work or at school at the same time, and they're coming off work or off town or off school at the same time as well. So there are some particular times where you see that those traffic jams. So I think
this didn't start just yesterday. I think it's also a contributing factor is the increase in even the number of vehicles. People's pockets have become bigger.
Absolutely, but so, you can, what can you do? You cannot decrease them, and you can only add so many roads. So the only solution, part of the solution would be what you were suggesting, maybe not to that extreme, but there's a number of things that they do in other countries, in other big cities. They do carpooling. They try to see that people don't go. If you don't. At least even if you don't work 24 hours a day, if work schedules were not at the same time, if some people, for example, start work at 7, some others may start from 10 and finish later, and somehow
to be the
people
one
don't go
doing the job from 10.
Yeah, I know, but so in big cities that's how it happens, because you can't, if you have people going at the same time and coming at the same time, it just doesn't
becomes
work.
a problem. And I think it may be even tougher in the days to come.
Absolutely, because
roads.
Kigali it's a very tough terrain for first of all. There's many hills. So you can really, even if you try to make the roads bigger, or even if you try to think of different places you can put roads, first of all, it's quite expensive to build new roads, and still. The number of cars will still be increasing, which is a good thing. It shows that we have some prosperity going on.
The pockets,
absolutely.
Let's look at some of the stories that many people are either waking up to, or some of the stories that they slept having heard about. We had a fire breakout in Muhanga district in the wee hours of Tuesday, destroying property worth millions of francs. At the moment, not the worth of what has been destroyed in this fire is still not known. But of course, from the New Times, we're seeing that the eyewitnesses say that the inferno originated from one of the shops before spreading.
Are you serious?
To the others.
You're denying?
But they caught you on the counter.
It wasn't me.
Picture this.
We got you on the cameras.
Wasn't me.
Denying.
I will
If
tell
you
her.
say, are you tell her, baby? No way.
Yes.
But guys, you're saying about the little rain? You're talking about the cars? But something is maybe there's not even enough rain in this country.
I thought you were going to say there's not enough cars.
Or enough roads.
I know. That's where I took you to, but I'm back now in the rain.
He's trying to...
Because you see, I see all of these people walking. How many have umbrellas?
So that's a business opportunity, eh?
Well, not just a business opportunity.
But the hawkers will be...
But a culture change eventually, you know? Because you can walk and not being wet, you know?
Yep.
It's different. It's a bit unique, because what I used to hear is that most people here fear the rain more than a car knocking them.
Because of the umbrella.
I saw
umbrella
some guys
factor.
come on a motorbike. I saw some guys on other motorbikes like speeding off. I'm like, look at these idiots, really. And I say it with all the love. You know, when I call someone an idiot, is because you're one of us.
Yeah. so talking of this,
Which
of
reminds me of idiots.
Yeah.
They say that every village has an idiot. So if you look around and you don't see who the village idiot
might be
is,
you, right?
it must be you.
Look in the mirror.
and you ask Mira, who's the idiot of us?
Yeah.
Now we're going back to
Other
this incident
stories.
that happened late last night of the fire.
Yeah. So
Some of the information I was receiving late last night from some of the people who are around that area is that it took so long to put the fire out, and it brings us to the issues of even the preparedness of how we can be able to deal with such fires or such incidents.
When you say it took
It took long to. It seemed
To
as
master.
if it seemed as if it was proving to be difficult to take it out. And I'm being told that inside the building that was burning, there was turpentine. And as you understand the issue of turpentine, oil things and water,
Yes,
probably
yes.
it was one of the things that was even causing the fire to go on and on. So are we worried that probably the incidents are back?
I
of
think
these
more.
fires
These
again.
these are more stories that show that we are growing in the urban side of our city, and more pressure, and people maybe we're not prepared. Because in places like that you should have your own security.
The fire extinguishers. and
Sure.
stuff like that.
And not just those things, but maybe a system in the ceiling and stuff like that, in the walls, and at least especially when you have such flammable material.
But it comes after these prime ministerial orders were given by the former prime minister.
But it's not overnight that you build the town, man.
But even if it is not overnight, there are certain immediate term things that I remember were said that needed to be gotten, like the fire extinguishers, the smoke detectors.
I can tell you a story that I haven't shared on air so far. My car started burning like 3 weeks ago. The car
Inside
and
the
it
car.
was parked. I wasn't even inside, and people came to
And you do have a fire extinguisher.
and
in
I
the
have
car.
a fire, and they use like 3 fire extinguishers and sand and stones and stuff like that.
They
you know?
started stoning the car.
He's stoning the
They're
car,
not
man.
from IS by any chance.
They didn't behead it, but
Still
It has been behaving badly.
still talking of the issues of fires. Now let's move out of Rwanda and let's go to South Africa,
Big
where
brother,
we
huh?
had
Another
of a
fire.
story of a fire there. Days after we heard that Rwanda was not going to participate in Big Brother, is this karma?
It wasn't me. But because they had the car over there.
Is it karma, or we have some well-placed people who took
in
care
there
of it?
who took it down? It would be
I
interesting.
can see the hand of government.
Of the
in
government,
that. Somebody needs to look into that.
But was it from Sierra Leone?
or Sierra Leone. Yeah. So it's in my opinion, I
The
think
comments on that page were very funny.
were very funny. But looking at what happened, including someone saying that I heard that Dean Karemera, the investigative journalist, talked about Juju. It must be him.
That was one of the comments on the
Yes.
on the BB
Yes,
page.
yes. But then, don't we think that we are sort of lucky, not just us, but even those who are expected to go to the house, because this incident happened when no one was in the house. I can imagine if the contest had started, and then such an incident took
You know
place.
what? I don't think
no,
Big Brother is a big story that we have to work up on on CFA.
No,
It's
but
gone, man. It's smoke now. I mean, Rwanda is not there. It's in smoke. We have other
What if
fires. over
Rwanda
here
was
in
there?
Rwanda.
What if Rwanda was
But
there?
Rwanda is not, and we have other fires to deal
No, but
with.
even if Rwanda was there,
Yes.
when things happen, things happen. So it doesn't mean that
And they always happen for
Yeah.
a reason.
So playing out any other scenarios, if Rwanda was there, they would have been there like everybody else would have been there.
Yeah.
I think sometimes times we become very chauvinistic and think that it matters because some of our own are there. But I don't even want to be one of those people who seem to be happy that this thing happened. It's unfortunate. A loss to anyone is not something to be happy about. Yes. Even if you're Rwandese and you feel like, that's nice revenge, but no, it's not. I don't want to be one of those people.
Yeah, sure. Now,
there's
the
some
issue,
of us.
I'll keep flipping you guys here internationally, regionally. Let's now jump to Uganda, where there's that story of the cows, the Moors. After it happened in Kenya with that presidential car.
Say it in so. First the car, now the cows.
Now the cows. Seriously speaking, because
is anything going to hit Rwanda now after Kenya, after Uganda?
I wonder what people would steal.
Is this the cows?
But were they saying it is very interesting? So they were saying that it may be Kenyans who took the cows. What was that? Did I hear that? No, I thought that's what I heard.
The president of Uganda, there's a time that he was in Kenya during the inauguration of President Uhuru.
So you played that
yes, we were taking it back. So he was saying that the Pokot, there's a community that lives close to the Ugandan border, and normally they used to be known for cattle rustling.
Yes.
And Museveni was open in all that public place, saying that, when I came here, today I was escorted by a new member of parliament. When I arrived, and this member of parliament comes from Pokot, and I was telling him, you guys, you should stop stealing my cows. So I wonder if there will be
now who after the cow went to
incidentally the guys from that community were up in arms. They were so annoyed by that particular statement. They were saying this is bad publicity for our people. We want investments in our area. So if the president of Uganda,
want more cows.
If the president of Uganda is saying this, then it's definitely very, very bad. Still remaining on those issues on that issue of the cows, I'm also seeing that most of the cows that he usually donates to the youth leaders in Buganda as part of his poverty alleviation campaign, normally quietly end up in the open market. They're normally sold. So it seems.
So he has contributed to poverty reduction
by those cows being sold.
Man. I mean, these guys have been selling. Well, they don't know that it's an investment that that it's something that can in fact generate more revenue. They just on a one-off and they sell it out.
Because I would try to replicate or think or put it on the same scale of what our country does here, the one cow per family. What if now those who are given those cows did the same, sold the cows? Would we still say that they have contributed to poverty reduction?
No. But here the program has been in fact monitored also, because of course most people, when you're in poverty and you receive something to lift you to the next stage, you might not immediately know how to do it. So we've seen it here too. We've seen it, people receiving a cow and preferring to sell it. So here it was more. It was not just donate a cow. It was also helping people to get to know how to deal with it.
There has to be a way to accompany the person.
Exactly.
And maybe even before giving the cow, try to educate and prepare the population to what would be a better course.
The poverty reduction program here, the EDPRS, is a bit more, is a bit deeper than that, and that's why actually we had some results out of that. Of course, we're never scoring 100%. But we're moving on.
So we like to pretend we do.
We like to pretend we do. It's good for the morale.
It's good for the morale. Yes. Now going to security matters. I understand.
Beheading?
We'll go to the beheading, but still, before we go far away, I think I'm told that the plane to that particular country is still being serviced. So let's land in Nairobi, where the African Union is hosting a summit on security. And on Tuesday they said that they are seeking for funds to fight militia groups. And of course, this brings us to that issue of who usually benefits when there is war, when there is fight against terror at the end of the day, because we are looking at funds that are expected to come in.
From where?
they're looking for mobilization of money so that
but from where?
From each other.
But
so that
who?
they can
The states.
the states, the member states
need to commit.
Of
They need to commit.
African, they need to commit some money.
But it's
so
about time that they commit for something that they do on a common agenda, because I mean it's crazy to see that the African Union is in fact subsidized by the European Union. Where the money comes from doesn't really matter at this stage, as long as the countries commit. And I think things are changing. The past times are not today's. This problem of terror is something that is increasing internationally, and we might have felt in the past that Africa was still not really in this hurricane, but we are being dragged into that, and I think more and more also there is. Our countries have developed also. There are bigger interests today to secure, and I think their commitment is. I think today I'm leaning to. I mean, I think that we are closer to a strong commitment than we were in the past. So I really wish to monitor that and see in the future what it will give. But I can already see, like, one of the things that we've seen in these last days is really the. This thing on Al-Shabaab. We are getting, I mean, hopefully, results that will last. There is more pressure on the Shabaab, and it has been done with the commitment of the contributing countries in the fight against the Shabaab.
Yeah, we've heard that U.S. also struck parts of the Shabaab held territories, or some of these territories, and so we are yet to see or hear more of our own African.
But you see, the US contributed because there is a commitment of the African forces on the ground. You see, if you didn't have that,
yes,
it would have been too tough for the US to just be the alone to fight the Shabaab.
Okay. Now we have. Let's move back again at home and take us back memory lane.
Memory. Would you like fly nice with that?
Now we recently talked about these SMSs.
Memory.
That's it now. It's
fly nice with that.
Now, yesterday...
Supplies!
Come on.
Supplies! I'm not going to Blessers!
Yesterday, in our newsroom, we wanted to do a follow-up, excuse me, on this issue of the SMSs that are coming to our phones, the ones that are promotional. Yes, unsolicited messages. And the regulator apparently says that they're still in negotiations or talks with the telecoms to ensure that they get to a solution to this. And on the side of the telecoms, they're saying it isn't us, unless someone has opted to be receiving such messages.
I don't see. I don't really understand why they still negotiate or why they still discuss. It is just our privacy. We need to be protected. Full stop.
Exactly. And since in fact the people who have that data, the people we went to are the telecoms, they should be the ones maybe when we subscribe or however, or should have a way of giving us this option of opting in or out. And that way, when they give, when if you have agreed to it, then they can sell that data to somebody else because you know fully well
that you have agreed. Yeah, absolutely.
So what happens next now? Because at the end of the day, if they're saying this is what's happening,
you know what is next going to happen? If they don't solve this problem as consumers, what we could do is to file a case. Is to file a case and say, hey, this is an invasion in my privacy.
Imagine hospitals deciding that, we have all these dead bodies, let's just donate organs. Then you come back to life, you realize you don't have eyes because somebody gave out your eyes without asking you. Now you come back to life and now you are blind. Now you have to go and kill that person who has your eyes to get your eyes back.
And talking of organs, there is a mortuary in Kenya. Actually,
You guys are not fast at picking up jokes.
I saw.
You're very
I saw. I
disappointing.
saw. I saw. I
You
saw. I
just
saw a
wasted a
story.
perfectly good joke.
He went straight to Kenya.
Yes,
man.
because
we were
because-
about to
It's
laugh.
like I'm not quite sure where he's going with that.
Because there's a
Work with me,
He didn't
people. Work
notice
with me.
The joke was finished. You see?
the joke was there a joke there?
Well, the joke is on me.
It was there. Keep it to yourself. Anyway, there's actually a mortuary where 3 attendants have been charged for
Selling organs?
cutting out private organs of the dead bodies.
Imagine, and that's probably for
Horns?
for black
They were
Americans,
private
something like that.
Horns?
Private parts.
private-
Horns
Private.
for sexual stimulation in China and Vietnam?
So I really don't understand why
Speaking
someone
of
would
private
even
parts,
do that.
have you watched Grey Anatomy?
Grey's Anatomy. Yeah.
Yeah. So they must be cutting people's Grey's Anatomies.
For what
Work
reason?
with me. Work with me.
For what reason?
I haven't watched that one.
For what reason? really, why would you even do that? All right, so I'm being told that we need to.
You know, we are in Africa. Like, people do weird things like that. It's probably for prosperity.
Yeah, and I hope I've not.
You missed the joke.
Mr.
missed
Joke.
your
Oh,
joke.
you
Yeah,
missed
you
yet
did.
another joke.
You missed it.
Yeah,
because
but maybe
Where's
your
Jackie?
maybe that part
Where's
of your
Jackie?
anatomy is not graying yet.
because I wanted to finish on another note, which yesterday again on a follow-up story we did on this deadline that has been given by the Rwanda Media Commission on journalists having press cards by 30th of October. They're saying if you're not going to be having this, then it will be hard for you to access certain services as a journalist.
But you know,
Quick reaction from a media owner.
Yeah, I'm supportive of the RMC, but since we are self-regulating, I don't see why it's not media outlets that give out the
Job cards.
Yeah, I mean, and that is for me that is good enough. It's just trying to I mean, to make maybe an institution relevant that hasn't proven its relevancy until today. It's still young, it's still that. I'm wishing them well, but I still believe that I'd rather be responsible of the people I'm working with and the team and to issue a service card, and that is for me according good enough.
And I think those kind of
And which is normal the way it is done elsewhere.
These kind of threats they don't really help. I think maybe it's been done even in other areas.
Yes.
It's been done with associations of musicians where they said, okay, now the ministry only recognizes this association, so we're not going to work again with people who are not in there. And they realized that most of the relevant people were not in there, so they were forced still to work with people outside of the realm of that particular box. So it doesn't work that way. I think if they want to advocate people getting cuts from RMC,
Yes.
they should choose another way. The threats in general is never a good thing.
I wouldn't see it immediately as a threat, but I think it's normal for them to say that, guys, this is our organization. We have cards here. If you want to
be
and if you want also to be protected or supported by our organization, you need to be at least a member. Fine, but for me, let them grow. Let them show that they are there for something. Otherwise, it's just another administrative pressure for nothing. At this stage, I hope that if a journalist from CFM shows his service card, that
You
he's
should be
been
able to
granted
get permission to cover a story.
Because people, they have a moral obligation anyways to protect a journalist, even if they have done it. Because it's not the cards that makes the journalist.
Okay.
Yeah.
True that. Now, this is particularly where we put an end to
Already?
the CFM News Review right here on 89.7 Contact FM. It's been a good one.
So tomorrow when you come, please don't forget your sense of humor.
I left
or
it
bring
out.
Jackie. Or bring Jackie.
I know.
Or ask
Jackie
to
gets
be
my
there.
jokes. I retract my previous statement. I like you, Jackie. Where have you been tonight?
All right. Good morning. Goodbye for now. My
And
name is
have a
Eugene.
wonderful
and I'm
day.
All right.
Absolutely.
Bye bye.